Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you saw by the title below, that this is a continuation of my back to school series, and most of my posts obviously have been on my blog, so I'll make sure to leave a link below for that. But usually when I do my back to school series, this is my second year doing it, by the way. I normally try to do like something for high school students, something for college students, all for styling tips, productivity tips, as well as always do at least one sorority related post. Now, I did a post last year on my blog, and it was titled How to Pick the Right Sorority for You. And surprisingly, it got a lot of reviews. Like, it's hands down one of the most viewed and most favorited posts on my blog to date. And just an FYI, I've been blogging since like 2014. So I figured since it got such well reviews last year, I figured I would get back on here and talk about another sorority related post for my back to school series. Now, now this by no means is gonna like guarantee you membership into a sorority, but I figured I would give you a little tips and pointers. So if you are interested in possibly joining a sorority, you could, I guess, start on a good foot. So yeah, as you can see, I am a proud member of Stay FAB Sorority Incorporated. I have been a member for almost 6 years now. Where has the time gone? Like, oh my gosh, I feel so old now. Okay. But yeah, I really wanted to get on here and talk to you guys. And I felt like for today's post, it'd probably be better if I did it in a video so I could actually verbally talk to you guys about everything, because it just would have been too much for a blog post. So, like I said before, you saw the title below. Today's post is about, or today's video more so, is about how to get noticed by recruiters. It's also going to be a few tips about if you are looking to join a sorority, what are some of the things that you need to keep in mind when you decide to pick a sorority. And if you may or may not know, my sorority is a historically black sorority. It is one of the organizations that is comprised of the National Panhellenic Council, or NPHC. We often refer to ourselves as a Divine Nine as well, which basically is 9 organizations that are all historically black organizations, sororities and fraternities. And I'm going to speak more so on experience from being a member of an NPHC organization. Now, I do feel like some of these tips can go for any organization you decide to join, but like I said, this is more so coming from just experience of being a member and joining an actual NPHC organization. So I had to take a few notes so that I would not forget. But first, I'm going to give a few tips before actually seeking recruitment. And one of which, know what you want to join. Now, that does seem pretty obvious, but if you don't know what you want to join yet, no worries. There's plenty of ways that you can learn about different organizations so that you can get an idea for what you are interested in. Now, one of which is to do your research. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, because a lot of times, like when I first got onto college campuses and I was thinking about joining sororities, I would always hear, do your research, do your research, do your research. And I was like, what the heck do they mean? Like, you know, but there's a number of ways you can do your research. For one, you can easily Google them. Every organization, you can easily type their name into Google, and our national website will pop up 9 times out of 10, or like 10 times out of 10. And you can easily go to their website, learn more about the organization, the history, their founders. You can learn about their initiatives, their programs, their philanthropies, all those things. So you can easily just Google them. Another one is you can see what they're doing on campus. Like, see, you know, how they're involved on campus. You know, are their members involved in other organizations? What are they doing as an organization? Are they having community services? Are they having social events? Are they having, you know, different things involving other organizations even? Just check out, see what they're doing on campus. Also see how they interact with one another, because I feel like that speaks a lot on the organizations and the members individually. Because, I mean, essentially, if you join an organization that you're going to be associated with, is what you're going to be a part of. So I do think it's definitely helpful if you get an idea of how to interact with one another. I feel like that speaks volumes about the organization or that particular chapter. Next, learn what they stand for. And this basically goes back into like researching and learning more about the organization as a whole. But I mean, definitely it's important. I really do think it's important because, especially, and I say it now because I'm a full-fledged member, but I do think it's important because, you know, every organization has philanthropies that are near and dear to their heart. And I do think it's beneficial when you know what the organization stands for, because essentially if you become a member, that's what you're going to be expected to represent. So, you know, whether that's breast cancer research or premature birth, or if that's Alzheimer's, or, you know, just whatever it is, like, it's important that you have some understanding or knowledge, because essentially you're going to become a spokesperson for that philanthropy. My phone blocked out. Okay. Next thing is go to informationals. Now, informationals are basically events that the NPHC Council as a whole will put on. And that's a way for you to go and learn about every organization and learn more about the council as a whole. So you'll get to actually meet some of the members from each organization, learn about the council as a whole, and then learn about each individual organizations. Now, they may not go into a lot of depth just because they do more of like in-depth things at their personal interest meetings, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, it's good because it gives you an idea of what those organizations are about and what they stand for. Oh, also, I apologize for the lighting. It's getting dark out, and I'm trying to hurry up and get this video recorded because I won't have time to later. So my apologies if the lighting is like terrible. Okay, so forgive me. But next thing you want to be mindful of is don't join for the wrong reasons. And what I mean by this is, like, you know, don't join just because you want to get into parties for free, or, you know, or you're like, oh, I want to get in for a discounted price, or because this sorority's color has my favorite color, I'm going to join, or because, you know, you're like, you don't want to be like, oh, my best friend is joining, so I'm just going to go join that. I mean, some of the closest friends I have are members of other organizations. You know, we're still friends. We just chose different paths, and that's okay. So make sure that you're joining for you, not just because your best friend is joining. Also, stereotypes. This is a big one for me because there's so many stereotypes with every organization, and our organizations are so much more than our stereotypes. So don't join a sorority just because these are known as the cool ones, or these are the ones that's known as always winning the step shows, or these are the ones that are known as the real popular ones. That's what you're going to go join. Don't join for those reasons. You know, join because you feel like that organization stands for something and you feel like you are a good fit. You feel like they can add to you and you can add to them, if that makes sense. So just keep that in mind. Also, your GPA. This is a really big one. Please understand that you are a student first. So you want to make sure that you put your academics first. Every organization, even though we're sometimes viewed as social organizations only, we are organizations with standards. So there's a minimum GPA requirement for every organization. Some organizations are 2.5, some are 2.75. It just depends. But when you do your own individual research on an organization, you can find out what their particular GPA requirement is. But I think it's so important that you know, first off, what your GPA is, and make sure that you work really hard to maintain a good GPA, and just stay on top of your grades. And if and when you join, your schedule is going to get like jam-packed, okay? Like, you're going to have classes, you're going to have practices, you're going to have meetings, you're going to have different events you're going to have to go to. You know, your schedule is going to immediately get like kind of full, you know? So you're going to be able to have to manage your time as well as stay on top of your grades, because I mean, if you don't have the grades, you won't be able to be active, and that's no fun, you know? So you definitely want to make sure that remind yourself that you're a student first, and make sure that your grades, like, you know, they're A1, okay? I don't know if people still say A1, but I just did, so don't judge me, okay? But yeah, those are a few things just to keep in mind just before even deciding to join a sorority. Now, you've decided what you want to join. Now what? How can I make myself stand out? How can I make myself be noticed by possible members of the organization or the recruiters for that organization? Well, the first one, and this is from experience, this is my personal opinion. By the way, all opinions are my own. But my first tip would be to go to that sorority's events, or go to MPHC or whatever governing council events as a whole. And I'm not just talking about the social ones. I'm not just talking about the step shows or the stroll offs or the parties, but I'm talking about the service events. So like, you know, if they're having a clothing drive, go. You know, if you got some old t-shirts to donate them. You know, if they're having, you know, if they're having a forum about domestic abuse, go if you can. I'm not saying go ditch class just to go to an event, but if you can go. You know, I definitely feel like as a member of an organization, it stands out a lot more to me if someone comes to our service event over a party. Especially if party is not your thing, don't feel like you have to go. You know, parties are not your thing, that's okay. But definitely attend the events that you can and be active in those events or whatever, because that makes a world of difference. And I can speak firsthand, like, we work really hard on those events to plan them and to get everything organized, to get everything together. So definitely, like, you know, we really appreciate when people come to those events and just support. It means a lot. Also, a lot of times they have like free food and stuff or refreshments at those events. Not always, so don't quote me on that. But, you know, you might get a free drink or something out of it. So, you know, it's even better. And, you know, you're in college, you're broke. So, you know, yeah, it's all good. Also, like I said before, your GPA. Make sure that whenever you decide to go through with possibly going through recruitment or intake or whatever you want to refer to it as, you want to make sure that your grades are where they're supposed to be, because you will not be allowed membership if you don't have the grades. Like, I know for my sorority, like I said, and I say my sorority because I can't speak on per se other sororities because I'm not a member, and that's just out of respect. I'm not down talking anybody's sorority or anything like that. But just with my sorority, like, if you don't have the GPA, you will not get accepted. It's just plain and simple. And I'm pretty sure that ladies of other organizations can vouch for their individual organizations as well. That's just something that's very, very important. I can't stress that enough. So just make sure that your grades are where they're supposed to be. Like I said before, once you know what you want to join, you have an idea that you want to join XYZ sorority, I would highly suggest to go to an interest meeting. Now, what an interest meeting is basically, and they may call it something else. They may call it something else. I'm not sure what, but they may refer to it as a different type of program. But it's essentially the same thing. And basically, an interest meeting is whenever that individual organization will have a program or an event where you can come to and learn more about the qualifications to possibly seek recruitment or go through membership intake. And you get to learn more about the organization in depth at that point. And you also get to meet the members of that local chapter at that school. So this is always really, really good. You get to learn a lot more about the organization. You get to learn firsthand about the organization from the members. I mean, that's perfect. That's great. You know, and you also get to learn about their experience so far in the sorority. So it's very informational. Also, you get to interact. And if you don't know anybody prior to going to interest meeting, you actually get to meet ladies and possibly even develop a relationship with some of them, you know. So that's always really good. Also, stay true to who you are. I mean, like, you know, if and when you do get selected to become a member and everything, like, there's a reason why they chose you. Like, they felt like you could add to the organization. They felt like you had special skills, or you had your unique interests that would add to their sorority. So make sure you stay true to who you are, and just be real. You know, don't ever join because, you know, if you don't join if you feel like you have to change who you are, and I mean, like, for the worst. You know, I do feel like sorority should ultimately bring out the best in you, and you know, you bring the best for the organization. But if you feel like it becomes where you have to, like, I guess, jeopardize or manipulate or change who you are and I guess your moral standards and all of that, then, you know, you may want to reevaluate things and kind of think things over. But definitely, like, be real. Be who you are. I mean, like, because can't nobody be you but you. And you're going to add something special to your sorority, whatever sorority you decide to join. So just remember that. Also, be mindful that this is something that is for life. Like, now most people think, when they think of sororities, they think, oh, I'm just gonna do whatever sorority for my college years and then, you know, it's over. But I could personally say, for organizations that are in the NPHC Council, this is something we look at for life. It's something that we look at as, like, yeah, we joined in college or whenever, but this is something that we will continue to do for life. This is something we will continue to serve. I can't talk. We will continue to serve, you know, well after our undergraduate years. So definitely just keep that in mind. It's not something that should be taken lightly. Like, you know, and it's something that when you do become a member, it's something that you should take with pride. You should take it and be proud of it. I know whenever I wear my letters, I wear them proudly, you know, and it's something that is so rich in tradition, and it's so much more than just colors or just steps or the image or the stereotypes. That's why I'm more so what I mean, the stereotypes or anything like that. It's so much more than that. So be mindful that when you join, it's something that you're saying that you're going to be a part of for life. It's something that you're going to be associated with for life. And it's something so special, and as cliche as it sounds, like, being a Zeta is one of the best things that has ever happened to me. And I mean, I can't imagine my life now if I wasn't a Zeta, just because of some of the friends that I have, you know, some of the close people in my life I've met through Zeta. And it's just amazing, you know, just how much you learn and how much you grow and the things that you're exposed to. So definitely just take it with pride and just be mindful. Like, you know, if you decide to join an NPHC sorority, it's something that is going to be a part of who you are for life. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a great thing. So take pride in it, if and when you do become a member. So I hope this video was informative. I hope that you were able to take something from it. Remember, the links to my blog and all my blog posts for my back to school series will be down below. I am losing all sunlight right now, so my apologies. But as always, XO and stay fab. Mwah! Bye!